Donald Trump has been way too delusional this past month, mentioning that he wants to run for 28 and 32. In the meantime, also run for prime minister in Israel, which, as we know, is pretty delusional for an 80-year-old man to consider that. And we also know that there's a lot of haters, right? Lots of people don't like Trump, which I don't really think it's a possibility for him to be in office again. I don't really know. Ever since he's been here, lots of people, we know the wars, the economy, name it, everything, most stuff have gone downhill ever since Trump's been in office. And basically, in Pennsylvania yesterday, he mentioned once again that he will run for president in 2 years, which he can.
At this point, anything's possible. Donald Trump is probably the only guy on earth that wants to change these rules. He wants to be the kingmaker and just make everything look perfect and make his name super fabulous. We'll put the clip of him.
Maybe we should run again. Should we run one more time? I'd like to do that.
We also know Trump has an incredible amount of ego and a huge mouth. At this point, anything that could be coming into his head, he just spits it right out. Also goes to Pennsylvania and during a speech, just childish behavior, just starts recreating iconic memes. He just wants attention, wants views, wants more, I guess, a bigger name. I don't know. I guess more popular. We also know that he also wants his face on the $250 bill, which that also could be a possibility. We don't know at this point. Who knows? Maybe Donald Trump is going to paint a statue, a golden statue of himself on top of Washington, D.C. Anything's a possibility at this point. Maybe he's going to turn the reflecting pool into golden water, just flowing. Who knows?
I mean, look, we've seen him sleep at the UFC 250 event and the Knicks game in New York, which is disastrous. How do we see Donald Trump? We know him. He used to boast online that Joe Biden is sleeping at these events and he's lost his mind and that he's not awake. But now Donald Trump is doing the exact same thing that he was claiming Joe Biden was doing. He's sleeping in these events. He's losing his mind. He's walking off interviews. And he isn't there at all. Why is he even trying to run for president again? He's going to finish his second term. And usually the laws will stop any person from running again after their second terms. But just for Donald Trump to be losing his mind. I mean, him walking off in a Kristen Welker interview. And he's like super mad. He's dodging all the questions. Breaks the mic. Super unprofessional. She had to wait a few hours just for Donald Trump to arrive, and they waited in the rain. And Donald Trump is not fit at all to be president right now, I'd say.
Not only is he delusional, but people have also stated multiple times, which I think it's starting to be true, maybe has dementia, which he's been repeating lots of the stuff in every interview meeting. We've seen it. He said multiple times he wants to run again, and he keeps re-mentioning the reflecting pool, the ballroom, the drone port, which is just getting boring. I think the people, they've heard enough about it. And he keeps repeating himself, which people are saying that he has dementia, and I could believe it.
Of course, I mean,
I could believe it.
Yeah, he's not helping his case at all, him forgetting answers when being asked about the war in Iran. And obviously, I mean, Donald Trump is the only guy, like the only president of all time that's been boasting online that he has a 30 on 30 cognitive score, which if he'd be boasting about that, why would he be walking off interviews and acting like a crybaby? I mean, his face is red. And he's like, he walks off and he's mad.
Also, Trump, maybe he should start considering getting a better sleep schedule, maybe eating better, drinking more water, right? We know Donald Trump, he mentioned lots of times that he only works out 1 minute max, turning into a joke, which basically mentioning that he doesn't work out at all, which I think is pretty concerning as an 80-year-old man. 6'6", right? His size. He's gaining 14 pounds of excessive weight, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but maybe getting some movement in it a bit every day. We see his alertness has been going down, not a lot, but a decent amount, right? We've seen him in every question he's being asked. We don't really know what he's saying, right? We don't. Sometimes he just doesn't make sense. He starts rambling about other subjects. Maybe he wants to avoid it. We don't really know. But also, he also mentioned that he drinks. He says he barely drinks water or doesn't drink water some days, and drinks more Coca-Cola, which maybe explains the blood sugar, the swelling, the bruising, and fast food also. I don't think that's the best thing. Maybe that's the bloating, the more swelling. We see that Donald Trump could be more in shape and really could, because that guy is a billionaire and has people around him that he has the tools to be in good shape. And he's a leader. He's a leader. His ideas run the country. And when you're healthier, you think better, you speak better, you act better, and you look better, right?
Of 100%. I mean, look, we're seeing his health decline in real time. A few months ago, he was doing like 100 or 200 posts on True Social at 3 a.m. And now it's basically being called as slopaganda because Donald Trump loves posting about Barack Obama, Joe Biden. And it's like AI slop. He's just posting these photos that are made in like 3 seconds with, I don't know, ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever AI he's using. But I mean, for an 80-year-old man to just be posting the slop consistently is terrible. It's not helping America look good at all. He's just losing his mind in front of everyone.
And we also see that the war in Iran was supposed to be ended, technically. And now there's starting to re-get some heat a bit and potentially maybe starting the war again.
Yeah, let's hope not. But
let's hope not, right?
I mean, look, we've seen the markets take a big hit today. If you go on any platform like X or whatever type of news channels you'll see the markets taking a dip. And there's possibilities that the Iran deal with the US is not looking good at all. And I mean, look, we've seen the deal was a few weeks ago. Actually, I think a week ago or two. And just for it to start breaking down is not the best sign ever.
Yeah, I mean, lots have happened this past year. We know it. Ever since Trump's been in office, he gave us a lot of hope to start.
Sure, of course, yeah.
We're going to keep on winning and winning. And the people were all happy. You know, people were expecting the stock market to go all-time high, the housing markets, groceries, gold, silver, oil, whatever it is. He said we're going to win, 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 which there's still time to win, right?
Look, he could somehow clutch up with the next 2 years that he has left, but who knows? I mean, the tariffs are apparently not allowed, and he was breaking the laws, the tariffs, and now he's trying to implement them even again, which, I mean, the people weren't so happy with the tariffs, and now at the beginning of the year when he took over Venezuela, people were super unhappy. MAGA supporters were leaving his team. His administration, some of his people were leaving. People are not even testifying anymore because they're so embarrassed that they were supporting Donald Trump, which obviously makes sense. Why would you even want to support him at this point? He is a full-blown wrecking ball that's not changed anymore.
And he also did mention that there will be world peace, right? There will be no more wars.
Yeah.
And literally 4 months later, not even, starts a war with Iran, which that didn't go well at all.
Yeah.
There was no winner in that war.
No, sadly,
there was no winner. We know that both sides spent lots of money. People got injured. People got killed. The people were just stressed overall with, going to their job, hearing the news, the groceries, everything was spiking. Gas went up nearly 50%, which I think that's never happened before.
No, I mean,
in that crazy amount of time.
Donald Trump's the only president to ever do that.
And when it starts to become a point where the people can barely pay their groceries, and this hasn't been a thing going on for the past year. This has been a thing going on for many years. And I think President Trump should maybe start concerning himself more on the people, not only himself and the administration, which we've seen the administration. People have been leaving him and not trusting him anymore. And that's not a good sign at all. When people start not trusting the leader of the country, that's when a downfall is coming and arriving maybe sooner or later. And the people have been on survival these past months. He doesn't mention it. He doesn't speak about it.
Yeah.
When was the last time you heard Trump mention, the American people are struggling to pay their groceries? Never speaks about that.
I mean, look, folks.
He's only speaking about, we're spending $1 billion a day on the war, and he thinks that's cool.
Yeah.
Which that's taxpayer money.
Yeah, he's throwing these big numbers to make it seem perfect. But look, folks, walk in your street, like go to your grocery stores. What's the chance that you see a homeless person or many homeless person? Even veterans. These veterans are homeless. A few videos ago, we talked about that we should have more respect for these veterans and have a full month supporting them. We only have like a day or two about them, like July 4th and Ceremonial Day, but it's not enough. These people should be getting the best treatment possible. How is it that you walk next to a grocery store and you see a homeless veteran asking for change? It's sad. These people are serving for your people's freedom, America's freedom, and the world to make the world a better place.
And how is it that in America we have 3 million people dying every year of obesity, which is very, very concerning, and is because of the fast food? We see that every single time you walk down a street corner, there's a McDonald's. Every time.
Of course.
Every single time. And there's going to be the new value menu to catch your eye. Even the homeless people, right? They'll get a couple bucks and then go spend on a McDouble. And which that in turn, they're getting fed, but they're getting fed slop. And it's going to make them feel unhealthy and more garbage and just maybe not turn their lives around, which I think health is the number one priority in America. We know that in America, obesity is at an all-time high. It keeps getting higher every year. why the fast food. People are stressed, right? Not only the fast food, people are stressed with the war that's been happening in the economy, right? It's pretty normal that people have been stressing on what's going on in the world, the war, the groceries, gas, right? 50%. How is it that you see McDonald's every street corner? You see homeless people sleeping everywhere on the floor. You see 3 million people dying of obesity every year. People are struggling to pay their house. Even if you see a guy, yeah, and he has a family, two dogs in a house, in a regular house, you think his life's perfect. Maybe behind closed doors, that guy is on his last dollar, right?
Yeah.
And is looking for ways to pay his rent this month and groceries, feeding his dog, his kids, his wife, his car, his gas, whatever it is, taxes. And meanwhile, he's struggling. His taxpayer money just went into a missile to go towards Iran, right? And he's maybe next month he's going to be outside of his house and potentially become a homeless man. And I think the administration and Trump should be more concerned about that. If he wants to make the country great, like he mentions, I think he should be more concerned on that, not just billions and billions of dollars getting spent on a war, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's sad to say, but the last 2 days of the war with Iran, Donald Trump mentioned that they were spending $200 million just on missiles, just to bomb these places and to make the people scared. Iran didn't want this war. Republicans didn't want this war. Liberals didn't want this war. I'm pretty sure Trump's team didn't want this war also. It's a bunch of speculative bullshit saying that Iran could be holding off this nuclear bomb, which I don't think they have one. If they actually did have a nuclear bomb, they would have used it decades ago. And just for Donald Trump to be basically bragging on these events like cabinet meetings and him in the Oval Office saying that we're spending $900 million a day just to fund a useless war. People are saying it's a big distraction for the Epstein files, which honestly, you could agree with that. I mean, they make sense. Donald Trump's releasing the UFO files. What's next? He's going to release some useless files that nobody cared about. Come on. Like, we need transparency here. We need real information.
And also, what's cooler? A drone port that's going to cost what? Hundreds of millions?
$1 billion.
A billion. Okay, $1 billion.
If that's real. I mean, Donald Trump likes to post propaganda.
What's cool? To have $1 billion project on a drone port, or to give $1 billion to the people to get free food, or start lowering the prices of groceries, gas, oil. It's not the people's fault that they're starting a war with Iran. It's the administration's fault.
Of course.
Right? Just because they want to have more control of either if it's oil or more territory, whatever it is. It's not the people's fault. And they should not suffer the consequences of the administration's actions. Why not start listening to the people?
Because at the end of the day, it's the people's money that's being basically tossed around everywhere.
I mean,
keep in mind, this whole war is taxpayers' money.
They say to avoid the haters, right?
Yeah.
Donald Trump says, well, the people hate, they just don't like you. Well, maybe if they hate, you need to maybe start listening on what's going on and maybe start agreeing with some people, right? Yeah, okay, some people are always going to hate. In life, you're always going to have some haters.
Of course.
No one's perfect. But it's a clear thing that more homeless people, more people are dying of obesity every year. Obesity is a normal thing in America now. You're seeing more and more people struggling to pay their gas, their groceries, their whatever it is. And this is just becoming a shit show. It is. We're seeing it unravel in real time. And maybe you watching this right now, maybe you're struggling or maybe you're not. There's a high chance. I mean, there's more and more people every day now that are struggling to pay whatever it is. They're just struggling to live. They're basically on survival mode. Or some of these people would just rather want to go live in a forest and start living on their own resources than actually start living in a capitalist country and just start paying your taxes every year. By the way, people work their asses off to just get their money, their taxpayer money spent on a missile that was spent on Iran just to blow up a base or whatever it is, a school or whatever. And maybe you were pissed about that. Maybe you were happy, right? Though, oh yeah, we're bombing Iran. Cool. Or maybe you're on the other side. You're like, well, my taxpayer money got spent on a useless thing. A useless thing.
And the sad part is Americans should be able to vote on if these wars should be funded by their money, which if it wasn't, I mean, this would never happen.
I mean, they don't have a say on it, right?
Of course.
So I think that's also important. I think the people should have a say and there should be votes, right? Before war, all right, are we agreeing to go against, it's not just the administration. All right, we have a cool military while the people are struggling to pay their gas, their groceries, their bill. And then on the other side, Trump is saying, well, after the war's finished, you're going to see inflation drop quickly. You're going to see gas go back to normal. You're going to see groceries go back to normal. whatever it is. It's easy to say that, but it's also very easy to start a war and spend billions of taxpayer money without even realizing it. Realizing it.
It's also very easy considering that Donald Trump is a literal billionaire. I mean, he has like a $5 billion net worth. He could be saying anything he wants. I mean, money's not an issue to him. He owns many buildings like Trump Tower and a bunch of complexes in New York. I mean, Donald Trump is probably the least person to even know about people's financial struggles.
So this was T and Matt on The Berube Show. Thank you for making it this far. If you did, make sure you hit that like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. We're very appreciated. Leave us know what you think down of all this in the comments. We read the comments. We're really interested to know. And make sure you're hitting the notification bell also, as we upload daily news, long form, short form of what's going on in the world, the economy, whatever it is. We inform you guys on it. If you enjoyed this video, you can head over to our channel, go on podcasts and binge watch videos we upload daily, literally daily, of whatever's going on in the world, right? We inform you guys. We stay up to date on what's going on. And this was T and Matt on The Berube Show. Thank you for tuning in. Wherever you're watching this in the world, stay safe out there. Take care.